YouTube, hey, Casey Dimon here, TaxSaleAcademy.com, and thank you so much for joining me as I record this episode of the Tax Sale Podcast. Hey, if you enjoy listening to a podcast on the go like I do, head on over to TaxSalePodcast.com. There's a link down below in the comments. Find us on your favorite podcasting platform, download us, and take us on the go. Let's go ahead and switch on over to the audio portion of the podcast at this time. Welcome to the Tax Sale Podcast, where tax sale investing is made easy. I'm Casey Dimon. I'm a tax sale veteran, expert, and trainer, author of the Tax Sale Playbook, founder of the Tax Sale Academy. I'm your host right here on the Tax Sale Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast. And as always, at the conclusion of this podcast, if you're looking to learn more about investing in tax-defaulted real estate, head on over to TaxSaleAcademy.com. That's TaxSaleAcademy.com. Today we're going to be talking about tax sale confidence. And this can apply on so many different levels. Maybe you're not confident about bidding. Maybe you're not confident about understanding the information, about what you're buying. You just don't have tax sale confidence. Guys, I can remember my very first auction like it was yesterday. And let me tell you, it was quite the story. I did all my research. I had my deposit, I had my ID, and I had my little cute binder ready to rock and roll, right? But I was so dang nervous. I had like zero confidence, zero. I tried to put on like a front that I was a confident young guy, but I wasn't. The truth was that my heart was beating out of my chest, and when I walked into that auction room, I felt like every single person was staring at me. I could feel my face get flush, and as I took my seat, I began to sweat a little bit. Then the announcer, the lady, the bidder, whatever you want to call her, she says, "It's time to form a line, everybody, and start to register." So I walked up, got in line. When I got to her, I showed her my driver's license, which was required to register. She said, "Okay, this is good. Go ahead and write down your name and your phone number on our bidder information sheet, and we'll give you a number." And I vividly remember being so nervous that my hand was shaking, and I had difficulty writing my name and my phone number legibly on that piece of paper. Of course, I was trying to play it cool, but the cooler I tried to play it, the worse it almost got. I had to remind myself over and over and over, slow down, stop, nobody's watching, it's okay, just write your stinking name, okay? Now, 16 years later, I've seen billions of dollars worth of real estate get sold. I've attended probably over 1,000 auctions, placed tens of thousands of bids, and I've been to many states investing in tax-defaulted real estate, and I've coached many others in investing in their tax sale businesses, and luckily, I don't have any of those same nerves. I'm ultra confident in who I am and what I'm doing, no matter where I am, because of my experience and the knowledge that I have in this business. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do still get butterflies. Butterflies definitely exist. But I get butterflies when I'm excited. I relate butterflies to excitement and not nervousness, okay? So it's two different things there. But let's talk about you for a little bit. Let's talk about why you might be lacking confidence as a tax sale investor. And I'm actually going to go over 5 top reasons, in my opinion at least, that you lack confidence, that you could lack confidence when you invest in tax-defaulted real estate. And we'll also address what you can do to solve these issues, and it's usually pretty simplistic. One of the first issues is that you might think that other people care. That's kind of what I did, right? I walked in that room and thought everybody was staring at me. The reality was, they weren't staring at me. But what happened is you might value others' opinions too much. What will others think? What if I bid too fast? What if I bid too slow? What if everyone looks at me and I just panic and I can't bid or something weird happens? Well, the fact is that despite what you might want to believe, other people around you, they probably don't care one single bit about what you are doing. And I don't say that to kind of sound brash, but that's just how it is. And this really applies to tax sale investing and both life in general, right? We worry so much about what other people are thinking about us. What will they say? Or what will they think about us? How will they perceive the way we dress? What will they think about the way we talk? How we look? How we act? This is all stuff that impacts us, right? And it really shouldn't. You know that it's true to a certain degree. It's only human nature. But at the end of the day, we spend all this time worrying about other people judging us when, number one, another person's opinion does not make a single difference at the end of the day as long as we're leading the life that we want to live. And number two, get this, they probably aren't even judging you in the first place. So get over yourself. No one is judging you at a tax sale auction. Our number 2 reason you don't have confidence is that you just don't understand the process. I received an email last week from a person who had purchased a tax lien the prior week. And he was actually trying to locate a realtor to help him sell this lien. And he approached it as if he's just, I need a realtor to help me sell this property. I bought the tax lien last week. Well, if you're not familiar, a tax lien is just a lien that is attached to real estate. You can't actually sell that tax lien on the open market through a real estate agent. It was obvious that this person just had no clue how the tax sale process works. And once they figure out that they screwed up, well, don't you think that this is going to affect their confidence? Now, if you're a gymnast and you know how to do a backflip, you'll probably be pretty confident when you go to tumble backwards. But if you're not a gymnast, you can break your neck, right? And actually, I see this quite a bit. Different foreclosure processes, title issues, outstanding encumbrances, redemption issues. Like, guys, the list goes on and on and on. Learn how this process works, and you won't have any issues about your confidence being affected because of your lack of knowledge. The third one that you don't have confidence, the third reason, is because you don't know what you're buying. It's sad, but I see it at every single auction. I'll spend my time researching a property, and I'll think to myself, whoa, that is a definite no. Don't even think about touching that thing. Whoever buys it will have a huge mess on their hands. Then guess what? Somebody buys it, and my stomach just cringes for them because they don't have any idea what a mess they just got themselves into. It might be that they just lost some money on the deal. And in many cases, that's actually going to be the best case scenario for some of these properties. In other cases, they could have purchased a losing investment and they could have purchased some legal issues. Don't worry, guys, if there are no other bidders. Don't worry if there's no competition on one specific piece of property. Go with your research. Go with that due diligence that you learn, that you practice over and over and over again. And as long as you did it accurately, as long as you did it thoroughly, this is a non-issue for you. You should be able to tell anybody exactly what you're buying. You should know without a doubt what you're buying, that there's zero issues if you know what you're doing. So understand, the way to get confidence when it comes to what you're buying is to do the proper due diligence. The fourth reason you don't have confidence is because you don't have a strategy of any sort. You're confused because you want to buy something at a tax sale auction. But after you buy it, you won't know what to do next. And if you do know what to do and you're able to sell it somehow, you won't know how to sustain or build off that success. You're investing in tax defaulted real estate because you feel that it's cheap and that you can make a quick buck. That's probably the worst strategy that I've ever heard, although many people do still do it. You need to first figure out your short-term strategy, like what types of properties you should be investing in, how much to pay, how you'll exit that investment, that kind of stuff. Then determine what your long-term strategy will be. Like, where else can you invest? How can you expand? How can you grow that business? And how much and when will you either reinvest the profits or will you insert more capital to make it grow faster? Tax sale investing is a business. You must treat it as such, and you must have a long-term plan for your success. If you have a plan, you'll likely have confidence in what you're doing and how to execute that plan. The last reason you're probably not confident could very well be a money thing. Perhaps you're using borrowed money, or you're on your very last few dollars when you get into tax sale investing. And I can certainly understand the hesitation that you might have in this situation. And I would never, ever recommend that anyone invest their last few dollars in any real estate transaction. You should never put yourself on such thin margins that one mistake could potentially bankrupt you. But if you know your strategy, what you're buying, and you understand the process, you should be confident about the money that you're going to invest. If you're still worried about the money, if you're unconfident and you're scared that you're going to lose that money somehow, then the odds are that there's another issue outlying somewhere. And that's okay. It just means that you need to spend more time learning, researching, analyzing, practicing. That way you will be able to build that confidence. You should know that based on your education in this space, combined with proper and accurate due diligence, that a property is a winner and there is going to be zero risk. In short, you need to know that you're making a foolproof investment, that you're parking that money in a foolproof investment temporarily. And the more concerned you are about the money, the more solid that investment needs to be. If your investment is a solid, can't lose investment, it's a great property that you're getting at a great price, then the lack of confidence because of money will likely disappear. It's just up to you to determine when you do have one of these foolproof, can't lose properties. That way, when you do determine it and you're able to figure it out, your confidence level will shoot right through the roof. So those are the 5 most common reasons that I see that tax sale investors lack success. Basing your business off of others' opinions, not knowing the tax sale process, not knowing what you're buying, failing to have a strategy, and worrying about losing money. As we've discussed, you can easily overcome every single one of these if you put in the required effort. To learn more about investing in tax-defaulted real estate, including the trainings and strategies that will help make you confident, head on over to TaxSaleAcademy.com. Again, that's TaxSaleAcademy.com. And as always, guys, if you found this episode helpful, it'll mean so much to us if you'll take a few seconds out of your day to leave positive feedback for us. Take care, guys, and make it a successful day. See ya.